Welcome to Active Sports TV, LAC News. You're now rocking out with your host, Active, as I give you another episode of this LAC News content. Man, oh man, oh man, my blood is boiling as a Clipper fan. The nightmare continues. Man, oh man, oh man. Where do I start? Where do I start? We're going to go ahead and tap right into what transpired in Los Angeles at the Crypto Arena. After dropping the game to the Los Angeles Lakers 106-102, we then go for the rematch. Back-to-back games in the crypto, looking to square up things. Must win. You heard me say it on my last episode that we got to find a way to trend in the right direction by getting these last two games along the road trip, that being the Los Angeles Lakers, who we played on Sunday, and then the Phoenix Suns, who we had conclude things with later on this evening with the Phoenix Suns. With all that being said, let's give a quick post-game reaction to what transpired in the Laker game, Laker Clipper Battle of LA, the final game of the season. Disappointing loss. Disappointing loss. Um, it's so much blame to go around. Clipper fans, I really don't know, where to start. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. We're changing things up a little bit on this rainy Southern California day. You dig? So hopefully, the avatar is enough, and we just dealing with the vocals, and you guys tune in and stay enjoying what we putting down today and cooking on this Los Angeles content, Los Angeles Clipper content. Now, going into this game, we knew that we were slaughtered by the isolation ball taking place with Ty Lue basically playing into JJ Redick and the Los Angeles Lakers' hand by allowing them to single out Ivica Zubac, also switch on to Bogey Bogdanovic at will. Ty Lue in the post-game interview stated on Hoop Jabs, go and check Hoop Jabs out. Definitely subscribe and like that content over there. If you're a Los Angeles Clipper fan, you want to be tapped in as well over there on Hoop Jabs. But over on Hoop Jabs, a wonderful interview as well. They asked Ty Lue what was the overall game plan, the reasoning that he stuck with Ivica Zubac, switching on to LeBron James, also allowing Luka to isolate and get Zoo on that isolated island, who Clipper fans are quite aware of, being that we've seen Luka so many times in the postseason, especially with last season how that concluded. We know Luka's go-to. We know how he's going to be more beneficial to his team and what they're looking to seek out and hunt on the defensive end when it comes to freeing up Luka, freeing up LeBron James, and making them dynamic in passing and their scoring ability. I feel that our coach and Ty Lue dropped the ball, once again. In the first game, it was a blueprint. You had to get the ball out of LeBron James' hand. I do not care if Donovan Connect hit 7 threes. If it's Donovan Connect's night, if we lose to him, I can accept that. That's more understandable. It was nothing that we can do. We did all that we could. But to just stick with what you know is not working is unacceptable to me as a Los Angeles Clipper fan. It led to the Los Angeles Lakers being comfortable. It led to the role players being more assertive. It definitely pushed them in the right direction, leaving them in the corners, basically waiting for their opportunity to scorch us. And with Ty Lue pedigree, him being a championship coach and very familiar with LeBron James, you would think that he will have an idea on what to do to limit LeBron James' success. In these past games versus the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm going to just go out and just say it. It looks weird, bro. Ty Lue is just overly comfortable with losing to the Los Angeles Lakers. In a post-game interview, I don't see frustration, admitting things that is detrimental to the team. It just does not look right. Last year, letting LeBron James go for 50 something points or 50 odd points, it does not trend that when we play the Los Angeles Lakers, that we're doing all that we can to destroy them. In the past, previous years, we own the Los Angeles Lakers. In over 13 years, it's been over a decade. The Los Angeles Lakers have not been able to win back-to-back series over the Los Angeles Clippers. Now that all changed on Ty Lue's watch. Get into James Harden. Dude, you must fall back. You're not the number one option here. Kawhi Leonard is, and Kawhi had a fantastic game. That was the bright spot of the Laker Clipper game. Shout out to Kawhi Leonard showing us coming back off that, sitting out that game, not knowing if he was injured for the long term or not. I can, exhale a little bit now, knowing that Kawhi Leonard has came back and he's not going to be a long term injury. But with all that being said, we need Kawhi to be more assertive and aggressive. Him playing back filler to James Harden, allowing James Harden to shoot these ill-advised shots, these sorry for the stuttering, but these unforced turnovers, and he's standing there as our leader, as our number one, doing nothing about it, not checking James Harden, not addressing the issue. It's detrimental to the team. Period. And it needs to be addressed. But moving on, we're gonna get into, the main course of this nightmare, which was last night game versus Phoenix. We're gonna switch the post game from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Phoenix Suns. We are wrapping up our disaster road trip, only winning one game out of the out of the six. After concluding the Los Angeles Lakers game that transpired on Sunday, losing 108 to 102. Then that one, we move on to Phoenix and let's get into some team stats. Clippers shot from the field 83 shots to hit 43, 51%. Phoenix, 80 attempts to hit 41, 50%. We shot dead even from the field. This is where we lost the game, folks, and this is where we've been losing all of our games along this road trip. 8 for 30 from the three-point line, a dreadful 26% from the three-point line. Unacceptable. If you know, in the Detroit game, we shot 25%. The Los Angeles Lakers, we shot 24%. And now versus the Phoenix Suns, which is one of our biggest rivals, I can't stand losing to these dudes. 26%. You cannot make this up. God awful. And it leads me to ask this question. What was the true meaning of trading off Terrence Mann if we're not going to get compensated with floor spacing, players that can spread the floor and be efficient at hitting their shots? Because I thought that was the main reason why we had to get rid of Terrence Mann. But it looks like we traded away something that was sure, that something that we knew was going to work, especially during the postseason, to experiment, only to find out that that experiment has went totally wrong, folks. All of the things tried upon this experiment is blowing up in our faces. This has to be pointed at the front office, and the transparency within the Clippers front office is disgusting. It's no wonder why the attendance is where it's at this year, due to the lack thereof transparency from our front office. Norman Powell is out after attending the All-Star weekend. What was the purpose of that meaningless event if Norman Powell was not going to be available? Well, only our front office can answer that for Clipper Nation. But that's not all, folks. I just spoke early in this program that Kawhi was dealing with the injury, a nagging injury that's highlighting him an additional game along this road trip that we lost. We also now have Derrick Jones Jr. and Ben Simmons on our injury report day to day, not knowing when they're due to report back into the lineup. And I have to ask, when do we establish chemistry? When do we get continuity as a team with 21 games left, with none of our players pretty much at 100%? James Harden is being overworked and wore down by the minute. His performances are coming up shorter and shorter and shorter, game in and game out, because of the heavy workload. And a lot of it is his stubbornness and him not getting outside of himself to realize that, dude, you're not the number one option. You're here to help Kawhi get us over the hump. You now need to do what you did last season for us and take a back seat like you did for Paul George, Westbrook, and Kawhi. We need that to reappear in James Harden. But we cannot exempt the coaching staff and the front office for these boneheaded moves made, trade deadline, and the transparency upon the injury report. It's disgusting. Clipper fans deserve better. I will be in attendance for the Sacramento King game on Sunday, and I want to see the Intuit Dome get excited about something. Finally, hopefully, we can win this back-to-back versus Detroit tonight, and I'll be giving you a preview to that. And we can start turning things around in the right direction. But we shoot 26% from the three-point line. They shoot 41%, 34 for 14 for the Phoenix Suns. 41%, that's the game. Free throw line, we were dead even. 27 attempts for us, 27 attempts for Phoenix, 23 made on our end, 23 made for Phoenix. 85% on both teams for both teams. Rebounding category, the exact same. We have 37 to their 37. Assists, 29 to 31. Steals, 8 to 5. We won in that category. Blocks, dead even, 3 to 3. Turnovers, we win in that category, 7 to 11. So, seeing the team stats outside of the three-point shooting, you think, okay, well, we had a chance, which we did, blowing a 20-point lead in the second half of this game. Quite disgusting. The third quarter was I almost had to vomit. All of the errors, all of the mistakes, the carelessness, the poor closeouts, inexcusable. Let's get into the individual stats, shall we? Kawhi Leonard, trending in the right direction these last few games. 21 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers, +4 in the plus-minus category. Needed every point, still came up short. Ivica Zubac, what a year he has had. What a game that he had. 35 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, a big double-double for Big Zoo. We finally got something right during this game. We started to make sure that Ivica Zubac got more attempts. We started to look for him as the first option, which we've been, crying and expressing over here on Active Sports TV for some time now. And he took full advantage. 1 steal, 1 block, no turnovers, +22 for Ivica Zubac. James Harden, looking at the stat line, you would think he had a great game. 21 points, 15 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, no blocks, 1 turnover, a -5. But the hero ball, the ball pounding, The not initiating the offense is what's killing the offense, and this is all contributed to James Harden. I've been a big fan of the chef. I commend everything that he's done for us this season, but these last few games, Ty Lue and him has been our biggest issue. Aside from our injuries, that is something that we cannot continue to allow the trend this way, expecting to have a chance going to the postseason, and me praying we don't have to play in the play-in. But that's not going to get us out the play-in into the postseason if we happen to have to play in that play-in. So James Harden, get it together, bro. Fall back, defer to Kawhi and Zubac, and let's get it going. We got Bogey having a better game. I still think that he did a lot of things that, on a defense that led to Phoenix comeback, but offensively, to see some promise out of his game is fantastic. 13 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover, a plus 19 on the game. Chris Dunn, not a Chris Dunn-like performance. Cost us with that open 3 in both games against the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. He has to be able to hit the open 3. If not, he cannot play in late game situations in the fourth quarter. We need Patty Mills, an experienced point guard, someone that can hit those open shots, that can relieve, a little bit of that offensive duty from James Harden. I would like to see Patty Mills, James Harden in those closing or in those fourth quarter minutes when we're stagnant, when we're having issues creating offense. So 2 points for Chris Dunn, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals, no blocks, 5 turnovers, a plus 3. Disgusting. The bench ain't worth talking about. 3 points from Nico, -8. 7 points for Eubanks, 7 points, no assists, 4 rebounds, a -24. He might as well not even play. Amir Coffey, great. We need him to do better on defense. 13 points, no assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, no blocks, no turnovers, a -10. Everybody was negative on the bench. That's what cost us the games, folks. We lose to the Phoenix Suns 119 after blowing a 23-point lead. 119-117. Disgusting. I just said it, man. We're going to conclude this episode by saying, Clipper Nation, hopefully the nightmare ends. We have a back-to-back game versus Detroit tonight. I'm looking for us to get that game. Detroit is a very good team. They will be playing hard. They will be playing in the right direction.